After creating a strat column, you can also export its tabular data, just as you would with any other regular section. Do that by going to Export Tabular Data. There's no special stratigraphic column specific option for this. It just works like anything else. And to export, I would just find this strat column, for example, and export it. Let's call it tabular. And export. And you'll get a spreadsheet very similar to exports for single regular sections. The main difference I want to point out is that because a strat column is its own section, you can see that the section ID for this strat column is the strat column we generated, which is not terribly useful in this case. It's really nice to know what the original section that material came from is. And so this is where the source section ID column is useful. So this tells you the origin of those descriptions, the section in the project where those descriptions came from. And that column exists for all of the different data types, for which there is one sheet each. Everything except for sections themselves, which of course contain their names anyway, so you already know what section this section came from. It's that. So I just wanted to briefly point that out. Otherwise, exporting tabular data is exactly the same as with single sections. I will also just note briefly that when you export tabular data in a project that already has some strat columns generated, if you export all sections, the data from strat columns, since it's just generated from the descriptions of single sections, you'll end up with a bunch of sort of duplicate data because PSICAT does not distinguish between regular sections and strat column sections when generating tabular data. So just be aware that there's going to be some duplication there, and you'll probably want to clear out those redundant descriptions. Otherwise, you'll end up with multiples, because strat column descriptions are just copies of existing section descriptions. So that's just something to be aware of when you choose the all sections option. One way around that would just be to choose select sections and omit strat sections. That might be the simplest solution, so I could just export these 6, whereas I know all of these are strat columns, so I would omit them from this export, and then I wouldn't have that problem. So that just is something to be aware of. But otherwise, exporting strat column data as tabular format is exactly the same as doing it with a single section.